So you wanna make a Lego game using some big property, but you already did Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Lord of the Rings. Well, I think there's still one option that you've yet to explore. It's the series about a girl and her robotic dinosaurs. Now I know what you're all thinking, hey, isn't this a bit of a stretch? Horizon's fan base has been shrinking. It might be pretty, but there's always a catch. I've only met one person in my whole damn life who had an insatiable Horizon appetite. Everybody else doesn't care that much, but Herman Hulse doesn't really give a fuck. So here you go, world, it's Horizon again. If you got money, it's time to spend. It's got multiplayer, find a friend. Ooh, open up your mouth, girl, let me pour some Horizon in. It's sweet like honey, so give us all your money. Oh wait, oh fuck, no one's buying the game. I thought Horizon was as cool as Star Wars. I guess it turns out it's just kinda lame. Ooh, holy crap, oh no, why doesn't anybody care? Horizon is just as cool as all those other Lego games. Even though the evidence makes it seem like it's irrelevant, Lego Horizon flopped. I'm not sure why they bothered trying. All of its fans must have been lying. Lego Horizon flopped, Horizon. Guess Sony is gonna have to try again. Skeep-a-doop-bop-boop, deep-a-deep-a-doo-da, robo-dino-skip-bop, skip-bop, eep-a-deep-a-deep-a-boo-bop, going till the doo-da-beep-bop-a-noo-ta. Horizon should never had a Lego game. Whoever greenlit that must have been fucking insane. Lego Horizon flopped. I'm not sure why they bothered trying. All of its fans must have been lying. Lego Horizon flopped, Horizon. Guess Sony is gonna have to try again. Sorry Herman Hulse, guess you didn't make a new Star Wars after all. Sorry Herman Hulse, just another day of ya dropping the ball.
I drove my rusty pickup to the local game store door. Starfield gleamed upon the shelf, couldn't wait no more. Todd Howard spun his stories of galaxies afar, but when I fired up that game, I didn't get too far. Oh Todd, you sold me stardust, but gave me empty skies. Promised me the universe with all your alibis. I fell for all your stories, like I always do. Starfield left me wishing for a game that's true. They boasted endless planets, each one unique and new. But after planet number 3, I'd seen a deja vu. The critics didn't love it, gave it mediocre scores. Just another space misfire echoed across the boards. Oh Todd, you sold me stardust, but gave me empty skies. Promised me the universe with all your alibis. I fell for all your stories, like I always do. Starfield left me wishing for a game that's true. I searched for epic battles, but the AI wouldn't fight. Characters were wooden and the dialogue was trite. Todd promised me the cosmos, but left me in the dust. Now I'm trading in this game, it's betrayed my trust. Oh Todd, you weaved a fable of worlds beyond compare, but all I got were glitches and load screens everywhere. Still somehow I'm considering when the next game's not, 'cause hope's a stubborn thing, and I'll give it one more try. Oh
left me wishing for a game that's true, 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 true. Old times you sold me stardust, but gave me empty skies. Promised me the universe with all your alibis. I fell for all your stories, like I always do. Starfield left me wishing for a game that's true.
Welcome, 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 everyone. How are you? How are you? Hopefully good. I know I'm good. I'm vibing, dare I say. But today is going to be a good day. It's going to be good. It's vibe. It's chill. We've got some stuff to talk about. Little bits here, little bits there. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. How is everybody? How is your Friday? Right before Christmas? I don't know about you guys. The last like 2 weeks have flown by. I don't know what the deal is, but it feels like this final push to Christmas has just been a blur. Just a total blur. But you know what? I'm here for it. It's okay. We're going to make it. We're going to make it, fam. We're going to make it. Voila. I've been pretending to do work all week, haven't we all? Haven't we all? Except Jacob. Jacob, of course, has been doing a lot, but oh man. I am loaded up on coffee and I'm ready to go. Oh yeah, this was funny. I don't know if you guys saw this, but a Colombian lawmaker was caught on camera at a health something or other meeting using a vape.
We know.
And watch like the struggle as she tries to cover it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, serious note, vaping I mean, I know people that have gotten mad hooked on it, like hardcore addicted, sleeping with it under their pillow, shaking if they don't use it. And there was one person kind of in a semi-direct vicinity to our family who had it so bad that like she was hitting her vape even in like nicer restaurants, because she came on like a vacation with us and we'd be like at dinner and she's like sneaking under the table, like she dropped something. She'd knock a fork off the table to go lean down and grab it, hit the vape under the table. It's like she didn't realize that we could see the puff coming up around the table after she exhaled. Like it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, nicotine's a hell of a drug. You're telling me, man. My goodness. My screen also keeps going black, so it looks like my capture card is once more having those issues. I don't know what happened. I haven't changed anything since last night, but for some reason, this is what it's choosing to do now. I don't know. Yeah. Bro, just take an actual smoke break at that point. That's the problem, though, is that vapes smell like cotton candy or strawberry or pina colada. And so people think like, oh, I don't need to step out to hit it because it smells nice. So I can just stay inside. And that's where I have a bit of a pet peeve with it. Like we had people that we invited over to our house for like a game night. This like a year or two ago. And they were regularly hitting their vape, like, again, sort of trying to hide it, but they'd go into the bathroom. They're like, oh, bathroom break every 5 minutes. And they would be vaping like crazy in our bathroom, or they would go down into like, we have this other living room, and they would go down there and then hit it and then come back up. So we'd go, and one of us actually has to go to the bathroom. We'd go down there and it smells like pina colada out of nowhere. And you're like, I know what you've been doing. So I had to have like a really awkward talk with them. Be like, guys, I have kids. I don't know if secondhand vape smoke or whatever is a thing, but what I do know is that I don't want my whole house smelling like vape, whatever juice. So if you got to do it, can you step outside? That's all I ask. No vaping in the house. And they're like, yeah, that's totally fine, totally fine. And you know, then they didn't want to come over anymore because apparently they were insulted. But I'm like, I'm insulted that you're doing that in my house. If you're lighting up a cigarette, I'd be offended the same way. Like, that's not cool. It's not cool. But maybe I'm just a boomer. I don't know. There is secondhand from vaping. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but yeah, wah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, at least ask. Yeah, exactly, Stuncy. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is like, at least ask. Same thing, like if you're gonna bring over a bottle of Jaeger and you're gonna start chugging, maybe check with your buddy if like this is the time or place, you know, something like that. I don't know. The vape thing, I understand that it's addicting, and I sympathize with that. I trust me, I get it. I have friends and family who have struggled with it, but it is a matter of like respect. I think you got to have a little bit of respect. Just need some goddamn respect, Arthur. Why does this keep going black? If I reset it, will it work better now? Maybe. That's sort of working. Yeah, we'll try that. I'm trying to figure out why it keeps going black on my screen. The capture card's still fine, but for some reason this is going out. But anyway, that's the whole thing. We also we saw somebody get booted out of a line when we were at Universal Studios like a week and a half ago because they were vaping inside like the closed, like, I guess, queue, the line for the ride. And it was in the Mummy. And so it's in this like pretty tight, crammed space, and people are like vaping in there. And like, here's the deal, even if I love pina colada smell, it still is a vapor that was just inside of your body, and then you are filling up the corridor with it, and we all have to now inhale your secondary vape goop. Like, let's not. But Universal, to their credit, they're like, nope, and booted him out. But I'm just like, I'm good. It's the same thing as if you're walking behind somebody, they burp, and then you smell that, and you're like, that was just inside your stomach. Ugh. Like, that's what that is. It's the same level. It's the same thing. Drives me crazy. Yeah, vaping may be safe. Yeah, even if vaping made you, like, it actively made you healthy. It was like the vapes in in Cyberpunk. Not vapes, but like the inhalers that heal you. Even if it was like that, I'd still be like, can we not do it like where I have to then inhale it? You know, can we not do that? Real quick, Distinguished Dragon, thank you for the 5 before we even got started. Hey, Luke, did you hear about the former marathon director Chris Barrett's lawsuit against Bungie for wrongful termination? Do you have thoughts? I mean, yeah, my thoughts are, if I had the potential to sue a company, sue a multi-billion-dollar company. Shawn Michaels upgraded to show off. Wow, what a show off. He's better than all of us. Wow, thank you, Shawn. Talk about show off. That's fantastic. Thank you, my friend. My thoughts are, if I had a contract worth like $45 million and I could sue a multi-billion-dollar corporation, even if we settle for 10% of what I'm asking for, that's still $4 million. So if I were in his position, I would be suing too. I have no idea if his claims are accurate. He does seem to be saying the quiet part out loud. He said stuff, for example, like that. He said stuff like they would intentionally hire fans because fans would be willing to work for cheaper because, like, because they like Destiny. So if they get hired to work on Destiny 2, they'll work for cheaper than if you were hiring somebody completely from the outside, which is no shocker there. I mean, I think that makes sense why they would do it. But as for like the other bits, I mean, he said a lot of stuff and made a lot of claims in there. The typical standard thing is that usually the truth is somewhere in the middle, you know, right in the middle. And I think it makes sense, some of the stuff he said. As for whether he was kind of toxic or childish and that's why he got fired. I'm sure that's probably part of it. I mean, if enough people are saying that you're kind of toxic, you probably are toxic. Whether you intend to be or not, like if everybody agrees you're toxic, because it's kind of it is a characteristic that is a label people put on you based on their interpretation of your actions and stuff. So even if you're like, but I'm not toxic. Well, if everybody thinks you are, you know, that's just how it is. It's like if you smell bad, everybody agrees you smell bad, but you're like, no, I actually smell natural. It's like, don't care. You still smell bad, you know? And so I'm sure there's plenty of reporting that Destiny's developer Bungie for a long time was kind of a bros club. It was really unprofessional, immature, and I have no doubt that something like that was happening. But yeah, as for whether he succeeds in the lawsuit, probably not to the full like approval. I think they probably settle it for an undisclosed sum, which probably means like $4 million, and then he just goes off into the sunset. But that's just how this type of thing typically works. Even if an executive was fired for very valid reasons, they still will probably sue because it will be cheaper for the company to settle with them for 10% or 20% of the disputed amount than to fight it for a decade and then potentially still have to pay out. Like, that's the thing with a lot of lawsuits. Sometimes it's just going to be more expensive to fight it than to just shut it down. Like, I think even ABC News just had a settlement with like Trump and his campaign. Like, they didn't even get to the point where they would have depositions. They just settled it before they even got there, which maybe that's more complicated, but well, no doubt it's more complicated than just that. But it's this is a common thing in American lawsuits, is that the only people that really win are the lawyers. That's the only people that really win in these lawsuits, unless you get really, really lucky. Samir, love from India. Good to see you too, my friend. Glad you're here. Lucas, thank you for 13 months. The hardest work week of the year. Check mark. Praise be. Now, for a pint of Irish nectar at the airport. Don't say anything I disagree with today. I will try, Lucas. Enjoy your Guinness. It is truly the nectar of the gods. Yeah, no, it's been a crazy year. I filmed a little heartfelt, sweet, goo goo gaga video just saying thank you to everybody. That'll go up probably in the next few days. But it's been a crazy year, and truly thank you guys. Like this time last year, I think it was just me, and then I had like Jacob working as an independent contractor or whatever, and you know, we were just kind of doing our thing. Today, I've been able to sign both my guys, both Jacob and Trevor, on as full-time employees. They get health insurance, dental, vision, all that stuff. Like, we've been able to do some crazy stuff, which is very, very humbling. I mean, very, very humbling. So I greatly, greatly appreciate it. You guys are not just making my life better. You're making everybody's life better. So trust and believe. It's wonderful. At Colorado minimum wage, I don't actually know what Colorado, I mean, they make more than Colorado minimum wage, but I don't even know what Colorado minimum wage is nowadays. Is it like 13, 14? Wage 2024, 1442.
FDMKR is now a member. Would you play Red Dead Redemption again?
Oh yeah, all day, every day. I love Red Dead. Can't get enough. Most jobs I've seen in Colorado, though, they start at 18. Like where I live, McDonald's, Buc-ee's, whatever you're looking at, it's all like right around that $18 mark. $18 an hour mark. Tipped employees, $11.40, up from $10.63. That's double the federal. Yeah, I mean, what states have the lowest? Have the lowest minimum wage? Georgia and Wyoming have a minimum wage below $7.25. Jesus. And to anybody who's like, oh, well, they'll just negotiate higher wages. Jacob can probably speak to this, but because he used to live in Wyoming like a year ago, he was in Wyoming. But yeah, look at all these states that are at. This is as of October 2023, but wow. I'm surprised to see Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is kind of a wealthy state. Texas, I'm not really shocked to see that, but Arkansas is at 11. I mean, that's impressive at least, but like, I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy because the idea of trying to live off of like 725 is ridiculous. Like that is crazy. In Wyoming, at least things are like a little cheaper, like real estate's cheaper. So you can like go rent an apartment with a few roommates and probably, you know, make do on 725. But that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, Oregon. That was crazy. MFers. Ooh, 17 over in DC. Wow. Anyway, that's wild. Colorado has, like, they've done a lot of work on it. They also passed a bill like 2 years ago that just, I think it went into effect this January, that overhauled the like family leave, paid family leave. And so it's now like, I think you get like a month or two and it's subsidized by the government. So even if you're a small business, the state helps pay for like the father or mother to get paid time off of work if they have a baby, which is kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I know I pay a lot in taxes for it. So hopefully it actually works. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. DC's the highest. I mean, DC, I think DC is the highest and like most wealthy zip code. Average income in DC. Or maybe it's average net worth or whatever. Yeah. The survey also found that the DC area consumers say a net worth of just under $1 million is enough to be financially comfortable. The national average is 778. But in DC, you need to basically be a millionaire to feel comfortable. Because DC is so expensive. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, what this is why I can't have X open while I'm on stream. Like, look at this, dude. What is this? Like, is this some Finland crap? Is there anyone from Finland responsible for this? What the hell is this? Why does this look like it's a Finnish thing? It looks like it's probably some sort of ritual that happens in an Eastern European country, maybe. That goes back like 3,000 years. You saw Jor? There he is. Is this what he was doing for his vacation? Is this what it was? There's probably some art piece where it's like, yeah, people are like sheep and need to be shepherded. And it's like, wow, powerful. I kind of wish, yeah, maybe I should try this. Maybe I should go in and like do an art piece undercover and just see how many weirdos I can get to do outrageous stuff like that. Man, that's funny. Yeah, what do you guys think of the Superman trailer that you saw? What do you guys think? People have done the side-by-sides and compared them and stuff. I mean, I'll be real. I am far from... Yeah, why are all of my sources like just ever so cropped? What is happening? I don't know, man. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, I see. Hold on. Okay, fixed. I see. It was my fault. I was being stupid. Anyway, I honestly, like, I'm not that crazy into Superman or superheroes or none of that crap. So I don't want anybody to get it twisted or think that I'm like some expert. But what I will say is that I think James Gunn, of anybody that could do a good job, he probably could do it. I still feel hurt that the one and only, the God King of gamers and nerds, Henry Cavill, got screwed over in all of this. He is getting to do a Warhammer show, so there's that. But he got screwed over with Superman. He got screwed over with The Witcher, and I feel for my boy. I feel for my boy. I'm sure this guy's gonna do fine, but I don't know, man. They just did him so dirty. They did him so dirty. He looks like Superman from Home. Well, and part of it is like Henry Cavill looks like he is perfect for Superman. And so now anybody else is like, yeah, they're fine. But it's just, there are no Henry Cavill, you know, it's whatever. It's The Rock's fault. I mean, everything is The Rock's fault. We can all agree on that, but Henry Cavill deserved better. My hope is that this Warhammer show he's getting to do with Amazon is like his dream project, and that's where he gets everything he needs. That's my hope. But yeah, he had a really good run of luck for a little while, and then really bad luck repeatedly, and it all just went to crap all at the same time. And I understand James Gunn wanted to like reboot everything because DC, let's be real, has been a disaster for years. They just really struggle with consistency and quality, and the Zack Snyder tone with stuff has also really struggled. So I understand why they're bringing James Gunn in to try and reboot it, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I would watch the trailer, but it's going to get everything copyright struck like crazy. So, I saw some people critiquing the animation quality or like the special effects and stuff. I don't think it looks bad, as far as I can tell. But we also haven't seen the movies, and it's going to take some time. So, The visuals look very TV. Well, I think like they're going very hard on the comic book vibe. So even the framing of certain shots is 1-to-1 to certain comics and stuff. So they've tried stuff like that, which I can appreciate, just shaking it up a little bit, you know, but I don't know. I really hope it's not just Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy, but with Superman now, with like Superman turning to the camera. Oops. You know, I really hope it's not that kind of crap. I hope it's its own thing. But I'm fearful that it's just going to be DC, but quirky now, you know. Oh, man. Yeah, that happened. Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see. My good friend Michael, who is like the hardest core Superman fan I know. Like, he is so hardcore into it. He said he was considering boycotting this. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, I don't want to support how bad they did Henry Cavill. I don't want to go along with this. I was like, okay. I mean, I don't believe him for a second. I think he's still going to go see it because he's a hardcore Superman fan, but still. My best mate is a Superman nerd, and he thinks it looks awful. I'll keep an open mind. I'm not that into superhero stuff in general, and to me, I'm like, So if it's not appealing to the hardcore guys, and it's not appealing to filthy casuals like me, I don't know who it's appealing to. But maybe it just needs more trailers and stuff like that. Same with freaking Naughty Dog's new game. They keep insisting that it's going to blow our minds when we see more. But I'm like, okay, well then show us more. You know, like I need more. We just haven't seen that yet. He said it wasn't cosmic and positive. Oh. If you're an actual Superman fan, this movie looks awesome. Crazy takes on stream today. I mean, I'm being very clear. I am not an actual Superman fan, but I think gatekeeping is not the solution. I don't think that's the way to go. I don't think that's the way to go. You know, it's at the end of the day, like, let's be pragmatic about it. You have to appeal to a vast audience, and if a ton of people don't think it looks great or are not interested, something went wrong. Gatekeeping is not going to help. It's again the same thing we have with that Naughty Dog game, where it's like actual Naughty Dog fans think it looks amazing, or actual gamers think it looks great. It's like that doesn't make sense. Like, what? People are honestly at some point, they're just communicating what they think. Difference is Superman trailer has almost 1 million likes and Intergalactic has 250,000 dislikes. Yeah, no, I agree. What I'm saying is, of the like hardcore fans, this is, to be very clear, this is purely anecdotal. I'm not saying I have some statistics or data to suggest that like people are not liking the trailer. I have no idea. But all I know is from my anecdotal experience, the hardest core Superman fan I know is not thrilled by it. And this is a guy that, like, no joke, at his should I tell? Yeah, it's cute. It's a cute story. At his bachelor party, we went and we watched Batman v Superman, or maybe I think it was Man of Steel. I think we watched that one. We rented out like a little theater and we went and watched it, and he drank a lot and all that. And at the end of the night, to wrap it up, he gave us like a solid 5.5 minute speech I have recorded somewhere on how meaningful Superman is to the world and how important it is that we have a hero like him in pop culture and stuff. It was very heartfelt, like tearing up about how much he cares about and loves Superman. And that guy was like, to this. So that's all I know. That's all I know. Okay. Hold on, let me continue catching on this stuff real quick before we get into potential Rockstar suggestions about stuff. Sumaya, thank you for that one. You upgrading to the 50 series can't have the obsolete 4090 next year. I mean, honestly, probably, but I also do this for work. Just because I can justify it in my brain does not mean that 99.9% of people should do it. My guess is it's going to be freakishly expensive. So that would be my expectation. But it should also, hopefully, warrant the price as well. Moonlight, thank you for that 5. Hi, Luke. Can you do a VOD for the Paradise game that looks like a clearly scam, so people don't fall for it? Oh, is that GTA ripoff? Jacob, did we do a clip of that? I vaguely remember looking at it on stream. It was like that free-to-play GTA ripoff thing. Yeah, we've definitely looked at this on stream, but I don't know if we ever did a clip. We might have been waiting for another trailer to do a bigger clip. I don't remember, but I do remember looking at this on stream. I just don't know if we ever did a clip. Let's see. Sean, thank you again for upgrading to show off. That's fantastic. Diversus Connor, thank you for the 5. Saw some old Twitter posts brought up last night. Apparently, head of lore for CDPR is anti-gamer. Witcher TV show type comments. Head of lore for CDPR? Is that like an official role? What a job to have. As for being anti-gamer or whatever, I mean, I'd have to see the tweets. I don't know. I mean, if they don't talk that way nowadays, but they said that back in like 2014, I don't think, like, I think people say stupid things in the past, but if they're still actively doing that and they're saying stuff like the guy that's the art director for Avowed, then yeah, I don't like that. But I'd have to see the tweets. I don't know specifically what was said. Blake, thank you for the 2. Joined the stream late. What did I miss? Not much. JFD, thank you for the 3 months. Would you play Red Dead Redemption again? Yes, always. JFD MKR, thank you again. Wish you Merry Xmas, Luke. I play 6 Days in Fallujah. Nice. Sweet. Glad to have it. Blake, thank you for that one. Is there a scenario where you think gatekeeping is warranted? I think it's needed sometimes to keep something from being ruined. I guess it depends on what you mean by ruin. Like keep it from flopping. Then gatekeeping without a doubt does not work. Because if it doesn't appeal to people, then it's gonna fail. So that doesn't really work. If you mean gatekeeping by like, think of maybe Hogwarts Legacy, where people were like, no, you should boycott it because of J.K. Rowling's statements on Twitter back in like 2016 or whatever. Then maybe you gatekeep and you're like, well, you're not a real Harry Potter fan. This wasn't built for you. So yeah, don't play it. Maybe if that's what you mean, then I could see that gatekeeping as being fine, I guess. I don't know. It's tricky. And everybody can say whatever they think. I think discounting opinions on like maybe good faith opinions when people are just honestly communicating what they think, I think that's not super helpful. But yeah, I guess you could say sometimes gatekeeping in that context could work, but I don't know. Where was I? Mason, thank you for that 10. Very generous. Had to say goodbye to my doggo this week, so the crypto bit of the trailer hit extra hard. Hope everyone holds their loved ones a little extra tight this year. Thanks for the great content, Luke. Oh, Mason, I'm sorry, my friend. That's really too bad. But hopefully we can distract you with some gaming stuff and make your day just a little bit brighter. Yeah, very, very sorry to hear that, my friend. But we will, I was trying to find if there's a heart button to like heart the comment, but it's not showing up for me. I was trying to heart you, but it's not wanting me to do it. I don't know why. Oh wait, there, got it. Okay. Anyway, thank you everybody for that. Over on Twitch, Anchovy, thank you for 500 bits. That's very nice of you. Have you tried any of those mobile service games like Genshin, ZZZ, or Wuthering Waves, etc.? Is there one you'd recommend? I have a long commute and I'm looking to get into one of them. Genshin, people praise extremely highly. It's a massive game, tons of support. I mean, it's just gigantic. There's a reason that game like prints billions of dollars. Zenless Zone Zero is also, I mean, it's wild that game runs on mobile. That one has a ton of a very high ceiling as well. I'm not familiar with Wuthering Waves that much, so I don't know much about that. Balatro is a fantastic game for the mobile side. If you're interested in getting into that, you will lose your life to it though, I'm warning you. There's a lot. So yeah, lots of solid options. People are digging up his old tweets. He's not doing it anymore, basically, says CZ James. Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I want to be consistent. I don't like those things that it sounds like he said
Richard
back
Granger
in the day. But
donated $200 through Super Chat.
oh, Jesus
A
Christ.
very Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you for all that you do, and for being gaming's voice of reason alongside the likes of Skill Up. My question is, when the hell are we getting Hollow Kint's Silksong, and what do you think of it?
That's a good question. First of all, thank you. $200 super chat is ridiculous and extremely generous. So thank you, my friend. As for the Hollow Knight Silksong, when did they announce that? Hollow Knight Silksong announcement. That was that was the Switch announcement trailer. Switch and PC, so I guess 5 years ago. I don't know. It's been ages. I really don't know what they could possibly be doing. Like, I seriously, how could it possibly be taking this long? But I really don't know. I wish I had some news about it. At this point, it's like a meme how we never see it and we'll never get it. I'm sure it's going to be good, but I don't know how on earth it's taking so freaking long. Because it's Team Cherry, right? And they're an Australian developer. Yeah, the original game launched in 2017. Like, seriously, what could be taking so long? Oh, excuse me. I had that sneeze just locked and loaded for a minute. Yeah, man. I'm so thoroughly confused how it could possibly be taking so long. But like, at least for the Cuphead, I can understand because everything in that game is like hand drawn. Hollow Knight, of course, is illustrated too, but I don't think to the same extent, right? Studio MDHR. Like, seriously, it just blows my mind how it can take so much time to make some of these. I mean, they're incredible games, but I just don't know how it could possibly take so long. Maybe they lack funds for further development. Maybe. I mean, the fear is always that they're going to do something like, oh, they made a ton of money on the first game or on the game, and then they announced the expansion and they just go on repeated vacations and aren't really doing a whole lot because they don't really have that push. It's like, what's the game that's coming from Stardew Valley? That guy? You know what I'm talking about? Concerned Ape. He said he's working on something else, other projects. Board game, The Haunted Chocolatier. Yeah, he announced that in 2021. Let's see, announced Stardew Valley concert tour in November 2024. He announced Stardew Valley Symphony of Seasons, second Stardew Valley concert tour featuring new arrangements and stuff. Like, that's all cool or whatever, but like, there's a lot of these companies that have amazingly successful stuff and then they just never really seem to hit their stride again. Maybe the most famous example of that is like OG Roller Coaster Tycoon, where it was made by that one guy who wrote it all in what's the name of that programming language that's like super low level? Oh, my babe is here. Hello, babe. How are you?
It's good.
Ooh, overalls. I like it.
Since when?
Right now, when I said I like it. Assembly. Sorry, Assembly. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Assembly. Yeah, he wrote it in Assembly, and it's like a freaking masterpiece of code. But he built this, and he put out another game or two after it, but like he had made it. Like he had made it completely. Like he had 30, 40, 50 million dollars or whatever. So he never had to work another day in his life. And it's kind of hard to sit down, I think, and deal with the headaches of game development if you don't have to, you know. Makes me want to play Roller Coaster Tycoon. Man, this thing can run on a toaster oven. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Oh yeah, Nikki. They want you to try Infinity Nikki. It is a new game. I'm going to show, I don't know if she's ever seen the trailer.
Nope.
Gameplay overview. But it is like a big ol', it's a game with like cute little kitty cats, and it has these like sim elements where you can have your own little house, and it's kind of Pal World inspired too.
It does look a little Pal Worldy.
And so you like have your little village that you help run. I don't know much about it, frankly. Yeah, people are saying it's like a dress up gotcha game. Yeah. and it's very pretty. It actually reviewed pretty damn well too. But it's very cutesy and apparently pretty solid as well. So, and it's Nikki. So
Nikki.
Therefore you must.
Therefore, that's all I'm allowed to play
Yep.
for the rest of my life.
Only Nikki themed games.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
Little
super
mini
cute.
games
It
and
looks
stuff.
A little weeb-esque.
Oh, it's very weeb. To be
It's
very clear, it's very
incredibly
weeb. Yeah. I don't actually, is that the term? Weeb is for like anime, right? So is something like that weeb? I think it's a different thing. Your sister would
Are
know.
we being uncultured?
Your sister would know.
She would know.
She is very weeb.
Which one? Both of them.
She is bonita.
Both of
Oh,
them.
Catly. Yeah, Catly's the other cat game
Oh my gosh.
that people were trying to accuse of being AI generated and fake. Because some person on X posted that they thought it was AI generated and wasn't real. And the devs were like, no, like, it's real. Please don't cancel us. Please don't. Like, what are you doing? It's like a little surreal, so I can understand why maybe people saw it and were like, what is this? Because, I mean, that trailer's not a great trailer. But they did reveal gameplay. So they did show what the game actually looks like. And it's like pretty little environments, and you design your own little cat.
Yeah, that's kind of cute.
And you have your own little cat world. And as far as I can tell, the gameplay is that you just play as a cat. Like you're just a cat. I don't know what else you
I don't
do.
think you understand. I need to escape my daily life and wear cute hats as a feline.
What's crazy is this game is going to make more money than probably
Concord,
99% of
everything.
games. Yeah. Damn it, I want to play now. Look at that. Again, I don't know what you do.
Be an outdoor cat. Be a cat.
The description reads, an open world adventure filled with surprises and joy, side by side with cats. Build your dream island, meet various characters, and enjoy caring for your cats, dressing up, building, farming, racing, skiing, and much more. Explore freely and have endless fun with your furry companions.
But do the cats build it?
I mean, does it matter if they look
I
like
need
that?
to know.
Look at the glasses.
These are the important questions.
I like how people saw the trailer and they're like, this doesn't even sound like a real game. And it's like, yeah, because I mean, it's not. It's just.
Oh, it's a little baby.
It's just cats.
Do you think that cat knows it has purple hair coming out of its ears?
Probably.
No way. Oh my. What? Well, I would think this is AI generated. It's very confusing.
It's very surreal. Yeah. What I also don't understand is I think what this is alluding to with the pre-order in the App Store. So they're going to have a mobile version, but also like there will be a watch face where you can have your pet cat on your watch.
It reminds me of Nintendogs, which even now sounds amazing.
Nintendogs from back in the day.
Oh my god.
I know. I grew up with Tamagotchi.
Okay,
That was
we
my
all grew
bread
up
and
with
butter.
Tamagotchi.
You guys remember these?
You're
Tamagotchi.
spelling it wrong.
Oh yeah. Look at these.
Everyone knows what a Tamagotchi is.
Dude,
You're in the time of people glorifying our childhood.
we have some younger people on stream who probably don't remember this. Do you guys remember these? Now I feel old. Those were all the rage. Yeah, dude. This is embarrassing now, but I used to have, I wonder if I can find the one I had. I used to carry mine around with like an actual, like a lanyard around my neck, kind of like these people have right there. I would carry it with me, like 24/7 around my neck.
You were homeschooled for a long time, though. Mine I'd had to give to my mom to watch during school, and she'd kill it.
That's funny. That's a little funny.
Yeah.
Dude, these were goated. I don't see the exact one I had. I think it was green. Oh, yeah. Then you remember the online portal they also had for them where you could take them and send them, like on the computer, you could put them in and then they could go visit the town and stuff. Oh, man. Kids would cry when your pet would die of hunger. Yeah, dude. It's another level. Real quick, Sean gifted 10 memberships on YouTube. That is freaking amazing. Thank you, my friend. Very generous. Hayden says, Nikki, take over for Luke, please. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Samaya, thank you for that one, by the way. Brandon, thank you for that one. Just come. I agree. On me, says Samaya. Sounds like a plan. Nissan, thank you for the 5. Using other studios' game mechanics is not stealing or a ripoff. It's innovation through iteration. Please don't embolden Nintendo, Warner Brothers, or their fans. I agree. I think the idea of copyrighting gameplay mechanics, for example, or patenting them rather, is insane. Like, that is crazy. The fact that they were able to patent freaking the Nemesis system is so insulting to the whole industry. It's ridiculous. Sean, thank you for 22 months. That's crazy. Boss said, I must share my holiday bonus with your channel since I spent most of my time on your stream. Skeptic, you. He's like, you gotta spread the love, man. I mean, that's crazy. Thank you, my friend. Very, very generous. Merry Christmas. Nikki, why don't you sit here and just host?
Do what?
Host the show.
What would I do?
I don't know. Just host it, dude.
I'm gonna host.
Just talk about stuff.
What do I talk about?
Tell them about like Dragon Age or I don't know.
No, apparently people are tired of hearing about Dragon Age. So like my time is up. It's gone. Yeah. Also, I'm not wearing glasses, so I can't read any of chat. I'm gonna need you to like decipher it for me.
Oh yeah.
I don't have my glasses. They're at my mom's house.
I have tried to offer to get her more glasses like 15 different times, and she's always like, no.
Oh my gosh.
Next year I'll have to get new ones.
I purposely wore overalls today because Luke said he doesn't like it when I dress like a preschooler. And then he told me he liked them, so I need to go change. Maybe to the rainbow one. Oh no. Can you read this? I can read it. If it's all in caps, I can read it. Shame on you, Luke. What's the shame for?
Just in general.
Okay. All right. Wonderful.
Tell everyone what you think of the Witcher 4 trailer.
I'm excited. I mean, apparently Ciri's not hot enough, but I didn't really notice that. No, I played Witcher 3 right when Lachlan was born. So when our first was born, I went through the whole thing, all of the DLCs, and really liked it. I mean, I have the female gaze, so I really didn't want to play The Witcher 3 because I couldn't be a woman for the majority of the game, and that was just so frustrating for me. But once I set down my female gaze, it was actually very fun. I really enjoyed The Witcher 3 and messing with his beard length for some reason. I haven't read the books. Have you read the books? The Witcher books? Over here. Oh, that's right. You do have all of them.
They're kind of hidden. But...
Yeah, he has all of the books, but I have not actually touched the books.
No. Do I have to translate?
Yeah, can you translate? Can you translate the chat?
Scroll. Okay. What do you think about Intergalactic? I don't actually know. Have you seen the Intergalactic?
I haven't seen
trailer?
anything about Intergalactic. Share with me.
Should we do this? Hold on, everybody. She's not seen the Intergalactic trailer. So you like The Last of Us, right?
I like The Last of Us. I don't like to be the person playing The Last of Us. It scares me. But I like to watch you play The Last of Us.
Let's see. Okay. What is this? Look at that thumbnail. Jesus Christ, dude. Remember when I'm like, hey, let's focus on good faith critiques. Come on. What are we doing? Oh, man. Okay. It's a longer trailer, but I'll just skip to the good part. Let's do this. Nikki's first reaction.
Oh, jeez.
Here, put these on.
Oh, man. Gotta hear stuff.
Okay. Porsche. Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Rock my world.
Later. Space. and just immediately leave the house and get dressed. Like, you get a haircut, you gotta go shower, or they need to like wipe you up like a baby. Like, you don't just get those little baby hairs.
Jordan,
Tell me something good.
well, you're right, it checks out. He's hiding out around the Imperium moon.
Excellent.
How is that excellent? It's next to fucking Imperia. No one has left that
Come out
planet
of
in
the
over 600 years. Anyone who
Away.
even flies close to it is
Fast
never
food
heard from
confirmed.
again.
Superstitions.
No. Superstitions are the crazy rumors about what happened on that planet. These are facts.
You worry too much.
You know what I worry just the right amount. I say we wait for him to leave, or how about we find a new lead? He's not worth it. I'm wasting my time, aren't I?
Can you please claim him? I don't need another hunter swooping in.
Who is swooping? No one is crazy enough to go there.
He clearly is.
He is clearly desperate.
And so am I, so claim him, or I will find another agent.
Anyone else with all your fucking shit? Okay, alright, you know what? There, you're the boss.
Thank you.
Listen, kid. I'll see you on the other side.
And we're started.
Thoughts?
It's pretty. It's pretty. I think the trailer has me wondering a lot because it doesn't. I'm very confused. I want to be hopeful. I want more good games, and I don't want to like judge it off of that. But there's no gameplay in it, so I don't know what it's supposed to look like. There's a lot of ads, so I'm assuming it's part of it, or they just like found a lot of people to advertise.
So part of this is they're going for what's called 80s retrofuturism, which is just to say that I think the what they said in other statements was from 1986, the technology advanced extremely fast from there. So this is sort of catching a vibe of a sci-fi movie from the 80s is kind of the tone they're going for. That's why you see the CRT TVs. That's why you see that type of thing. It looks kind of like, retro 80s futurism. And part of the thing with that era, 80s films in general, is that there was tons of product placement. Like even Rocky, for example, had like the Tab soda or the weird robot that you could buy and things like that. It was a staple of 80s movies to have product placement like that. And so that's kind of why I think they're doing the Porsche little product placement at the beginning and the Adidas shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah. They're like trying to tie it into Earth, but they're in space.
Yeah. My screen keeps going black.
I mean, I don't think you can really judge it entirely off of one trailer and be like, it's gonna be bad. I think if this is your lead protagonist and this is the person that people are playing, I don't know who they were written for. Because if they were written for more female players or non-binary players, I don't know. Games for me are a form of escapism, and so you have to find something that you relate to within the character, and off of a first trailer, I'm not sure how I would escape within this character. And so that might be a really, really hard sell for me as a player. Like, I'm willing to play it.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen, now the screen's just going black in general. I'm trying to fix it, guys. Sorry. I think there's a couple layers to this. For one, as I've said, I think the trailer just isn't very good. I don't think it communicates much. And even for like Naughty Dog fans, there's just not a lot to work with. Personally, I think that that's a big part of it. And beyond that, let's see. Beyond that, I think that it's just, I don't think it's a good trailer. Like, if you're trying to communicate who these characters are, their motivations, why I should care about them, there's just none of that here. And part of this comes from how Naughty Dog handles stuff. Like, one of the things I like about them is that they can, like, they won't over explain, they won't over exposit, they'll just do stuff. But how Naughty Dog tends to do trailers is like this. So you have like a book, okay? The Lady of the Lake. You have a book, and instead of like, how do we introduce these characters, the world of The Witcher, to the audience, what Naughty Dog does for trailers is they just kind of open it. Like, okay, we'll just do this as the trailer. Frangilla's amulet, unfortunately, didn't live up to the hopes pinned on it. Geralt didn't believe for a moment that the polished, oh Jesus, chrysoprase mounted in silver would replace his Witcher's wolf medallion in case. Like, it doesn't, if you don't know Geralt or Frangilla or anything, it's really tough to understand what the hell is going on. But that's just how Naughty Dog typically handles these trailers, and that works if you're talking about Uncharted, because people will know who Geralt, who Frangilla, they'll know what's going on, they'll understand the context, be able to piece it together. When it's for a new IP, it doesn't really work the same way. I just don't think it's a good trailer, frankly. The game could be amazing, but I do not blame anybody if they look at this trailer and are like, eh, because that's kind of where I'm at. I'm a Naughty Dog fan, and I watched this, well, because like I'll critique them and stuff. I think Last of Us Part 2 had problems, but I still think in many ways it's a masterpiece technically and stuff like that. But I'm a Naughty Dog fan, and I watched this trailer, and frankly, if it were not from Naughty Dog, if this was coming from a brand new studio or studio I hadn't heard before, we wouldn't be talking about it. I think it would have been one of the most forgettable reveals of the entire show, in my opinion.
I think most honestly, if they really wanted to make this a successful opening trailer, if there's impressive gameplay, maybe an opening trailer for at least an unknown game or an unknown character should have been gameplay to get people excited about what it could be. And then as you're getting closer to releasing, maybe going the more cinematic route so people can get excited about the character. But just this in general, without anything else, it doesn't really hook my interest. Like, it doesn't look like a bad game, but I'm not going, oh, I need to play that. Yeah. Whereas if it's a well-known character, like when The Last of Us 2 came out, you want that cinematic trailer because you want to see Ellie again. And that, like, resonates with people. But this in general...
Well, one thing Joe Raptor said that I thought was really good, and I see what you're saying. You shouldn't judge it on a single trailer. Totally, 1000% agree. Like, we're not saying boycott it now. Like, no. Some people are saying that. I am not. What I'm saying is I just think this was a bad trailer. And I think that's why you're seeing the reaction from a lot of more casual fans that you are. It's not that everybody who is not stoked on this are haters or like part of the anti-woke whatever. Some people just honestly didn't find it that compelling and think it's just not a very good reveal. And that, I think, is perfectly justified and very, very reasonable. How I think what Joe Raptor said was really, really good. He compared it to the reveal of the reboot of God of War back in 2016. And at this event, you know, they had music that happened, and it's kind of cringe or whatever. But then they lead it into this, a live stage demo. And nobody knew that they were, I mean, there were rumors, maybe they were rebooting God of War or something, but nothing had really leaked. You can see Cory Barlog down there. He is playing the game live. They actually show his hands on the controller, the screen in front of him. And they're like, this is a real game. This is what it will actually look like. They do this little reveal. I want you to, where's the headphones? You're wearing them?
It's on my head.
Okay. I was like, I want to make sure you hear this, because the moment where Kratos steps out from the shadows is one of the most significant moments of the last like 10 years of gaming. Like, it was a huge deal. And thank you guys for all the support and stuff. We'll catch up on it in just a minute. But like, just watch this moment when Kratos steps out. Okay.
What
Just
for?
wait for the cheers.
A test. She taught you to hunt, yes?
Yes, sir.
Then show me what you know. I am hungry. Feed us.
What are we hunting?
You are hunting deer.
And as if it couldn't get any better, they go straight to gameplay. They introduce this new world. Kratos has a son? What? And then they go straight into gameplay. And the audience is like giggly and shaky. They cannot believe this is actually happening. In this case, they also had live music because Sony went hard back in the day. Nowadays, they don't really care. But like back in the day, they went really hard on this stuff. And this is how I think you reveal something the audience is unfamiliar with. In this case, it was Kratos, who they were familiar with. Everybody thought the God of War franchise was basically dead, though. And this is a reboot. This looks nothing like the previous God of War games. And to show people that they should be excited for it, that they have something special here, they just go all out with it. They do the live reveal. It's actually running with gameplay, and they do immediate gameplay. And I think this is how you reveal something if you want people to get really stoked on it. If somebody watched this and was like, I'm just not convinced, I'm like, okay, then this isn't for you. But with Intergalactic, the problem with that is that I think it could be an amazing game, but that trailer is a poopy. Like,
That's when it initially like appeared, I kind of thought it was a Cyberpunk DLC. That's initially when it went up. I was like, is this Cyberpunk? Which, I don't know. I'm a fan of Cyberpunk. I like it. I was getting a little excited. And then it wasn't. I don't know. I'm very confused. I hope more comes out that gives us a better idea of what it's actually going to be like. I'm fully against just dogging on games on one trailer because I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, you should never dismiss a game entirely based on that. The hardest thing for Naughty Dog, of course, is this is a new IP. And, you know, the only other example we can really point to recently is the announcement of The Last of Us. Even that, you know, they stress captured directly because graphically they always were top of their game. And they try to set the tone. And these announcement trailers are always about setting tone, establishing the vibe of what you're going to be doing as you play the game. And prior to this, I mean, Naughty Dog was known for Uncharted. So the idea of doing like a really dark, gritty, serious zombie game was so insane. Like, people are like, no, where's Nathan Drake? Where's the goofy vibes? Like, this was a big tone shift for them as a studio. And just in these opening shots, I think you understand the vibes, the tone is established, and you kind of know what kind of game you're going to be playing. And my frustration with Intergalactic is that you watch that trailer and I just don't think you can take much from it. It's like,
I think you can understand that you are a bounty hunter, that you want a specific bounty, and that you're in space, but you can land on planets and fight organic robots. That's what I got out of it.
but what they've said after the fact is that, yeah, like, resources are going to be scarce. She's going through picking through bullets. That communicates something to the player. So, like, the other piece, though, is Intergalactic apparently has, you're going to be going to one planet and hunting down members of your former gang, I guess. And you're going to not leave that planet. Like, look at this reveal. Like, this is baller. Oh, man. Yeah, this runs on 2006 hardware, by the way. Yeah, true that. Yeah, watch this trailer. I can't wait till Naughty Dog kills one of them. Anyway, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Intergalactic thing. Apparently, the game is set on one planet people haven't escaped from in centuries, and the reason the subtitle is the heretical prophet is because, or is it heretic prophet? Not heretical. I think it's heretic prophet. Is because they're going to explore like what happens when you commit yourself to a religious, fictitious religious order, and when you put your faith in the wrong institutions who betray you and stuff. And I don't get any of that from this trailer, frankly. Like, I get that it feels like a sort of reworking of Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe after the gang splits up. As you can see here, they suggest that the Five Aces, the group you're with, has splintered off, and you're going to be hunting down members of your party either for revenge or because you want to get them together for another heist or this or that. Who knows? I think this trailer is a bad trailer. That's my stance. If you're excited for it based on this trailer, if you have a lot of confidence in Naughty Dog in general, cool. That's awesome. But I don't think people are being unreasonable if they watch that trailer and they're like, I think that's perfectly reasonable.
I think they're just showing how pretty it is. And how pretty they're hoping that the end result is. I don't know. It's not enough to get super stoked on. And if you didn't keep pulling it up, I would not remember the name.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, just personally, if that came from another studio, if that was announced from Bibbledy-Bop Studios out of Montreal, I'd be like, okay. And we wouldn't be talking about it right now. And that is a testament to Naughty Dog's prowess in the industry and their capabilities and stuff. But I think it's also a critique of the trailer that I just don't think the trailer did great. The story leaks, yeah, there were alleged leaks of the story. They were like laughably fake because they said like, oh, a friend of mine sent it to a private Discord of gaming journalists with Jason Schreier in it, and he name drops Jason Schreier for some reason. It was like a basement dwellers fan fiction of what they think the games industry media is like behind the scenes, and it's just not accurate. Like, so that almost certainly is fake, but I think in terms of the story that they threw together for the leak, it is reasonable. Like, it's fairly predictable. But the other piece that Joel Raptor threw out is like, they were willing to take some major risks and do some crazy stuff to subvert expectations with The Last of Us Part 2. So for all we know, this character we're seeing on screen in this trailer could be killed off in the first minute of the game or first 5 minutes of the game, and then you play as somebody else entirely. You never know with Naughty Dog, and I think that's the point. Yeah. Yeah, private Discord. Yeah, it was weird. Anyway, new topics for today. Yeah, we do. Did you know the cat is out of the bag over at Rockstar? So people have taken this. 2 Rockstar devs at the Edinburgh studio have posted pictures with GTA 6 merch they received from the company. And one has the cat in the bag. And then in the next picture, the cat is out of the bag. Oh my God. It's confirmed. I don't know what's confirmed. The cat's staring at us through the paper bag. Basically what people are taking from this is they're suggesting that because Rockstar is sending out merch themed around Grand Theft Auto with the color scheme, this suggests that a trailer for GTA 6 is going to be out of the bag soon, and we're getting a second trailer soon. Now, here's my take on it as somebody that owns 2 cats. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cats like to get in bags and they like to get out of them and then go back in them. I don't think this is some sort of coded message. I think it's just how cats are. Okay. It's also very, very normal to have merch sent by a company as like a Christmas gift. When I worked in commercial real estate, they gave us like little Yeti thermoses and they gave us like sweaters and stuff for Christmas. And it wasn't part of some grand conspiracy that like, oh, we're about to do something extra big as a company. It was just something they did as a Christmas gift because it was cheaper than a bonus was to send a sweater or something. So I don't think there's really much to this. We're going to get a second trailer for the game at some point for sure. But I don't think this is any sort of coded message for anything personally. Is it cute that the cat is in the bag and then out of the bag? Yeah. I'm guessing that's just a coincidence. Maybe it's part of some grand plot to troll us, but I don't know. What do you think, Nikki? Is this...
I think it's cute. And I also think, while it may not mean anything, they posted it. I mean, it's two different people. It's just, I mean, if they did it on purpose, it's for clout and not for any real reason. People are so excited and willing to prophesize anything.
I mean, Rockstar devs have openly discussed how they find this type of thing funny, the hyper analysis really funny, and they like to troll fans a little bit with it. And this to me, I don't think they were even trying to troll. You see the post, he says, he doesn't say anything. It's just a picture of the swag. And then it's Christmas tree, present, umbrella. Christmas presents, when it rains it pours. I don't know if that's what he's suggesting, but maybe it's a rainy day in Edinburgh where he is. I don't know.
The cat is out of the bag.
The cat's out of the bag.
The cat is out of the bag.
It's just so funny. Wait, enhance. I see something. Enhance. What is written on that paper? Can anybody read it? 8782 something 79. The game trailer is coming on the 87th of August, 2017, maybe. I don't know. Enhance it. Edinburgh. Yeah, exactly. I understand we're excited, but Rockstar leaks and rumors get people acting psychotic. And it's just something else. Nikki, I don't know if you've ever where is my bookmarks? I don't know if you ever saw this.
I'm ready.
I'm looking through my bookmarks on X.
So fast.
Yeah, because I know what I'm looking for.
It burns.
Where? It was the recap we did where we looked at all of those like GTA 6 rumors and speculations. No, almost there, guys. Sorry, I'm scrolling so hard. I'm scrolling so good. Maybe. That's not the exact one I'm looking for. GTA 6 rumors.
Ooh, yeah.
I bookmark way too much stuff for these streams. Jesus, dude. Am I not going to find it after all this time? I'm not going to find... Oh, wait, no, that was it. This was in the same vein. But, like, people go so hard with GTA 6 rumors and stuff. This person went and did complex math to figure out how many holes were in the door mesh in the background of this trailer. This one frame of the trailer. Like... People lose their minds when it comes to GTA 6 stuff.
The person responsible for putting that layer on is like, thank you. Thank you.
Somebody, what would you even do?
Somebody appreciates me. I send them a fruit basket.
If you're the dev and you're like, it's just a screen door kind of thing on one of these security glass doors or glass windows, there's nothing more than that. Why are people counting how many there are? Like,
I'm the jerk that's like, it's a secret code. I did it. It's a code.
Yeah, I don't know. The hype is unreal. Yeah, dude, like, people lose their minds. So in this case, I think it's just a cute cat that was in a bag and then jumped out of the bag and he got some merch from the company. I think that's it. I don't think it's a coded message for when the trailer's dropping. I'm guessing the only people that know when a trailer is dropping are like the upper level execs. Because again, remember, the first trailer, that was revealed GTA 6, that was going to be published. Like they announced they were going to drop a trailer, and it was going to be revealed, I think the following day at like 5 p.m. or something like that. And somebody at YouTube, like a YouTube engineer, went on the back end of the website, Giggity, and pulled the video and was like sending it out to leak. Like people at YouTube were preparing to leak it. So you better believe that like the trailer, when the second trailer is ready, it's going to be on a thumb drive in what's his name? Zaslav? Is he the CEO? No, I think it is him. He's going to have it on a thumb drive or on his phone, and he's going to upload it directly from his phone. And there's going to be very, very little overlap with who actually gets access to the trailer ahead of time or knows when it's releasing. Like it's going to be so locked down. They're not going to take any chances with it. But this is the other piece with GTA 6. If they don't release another trailer between now and launch next year, if it still comes out next year, it's still going to sell 100 million copies. Like it's still going to blow up because it's GTA 6. It's like they are in a weird position where they literally don't have to do anything. Any extra trailers they drop are a gift. It's a gift at that point. So, are you excited for GTA 6, babe?
I didn't even play 5. I played.
Thanks for coming out, guys. We gotta talk.
Oh no. I don't know. It's not my type of game, but I definitely did play just to run from the cops a couple times. Whenever I'm feeling angry and I need to break some laws, I definitely play GTA 5 to get it out of my system.
Oh yeah. I used to just go and I'd go to the airport, I'd get one of the airliners, and I would just take off and land and take off and land because I just liked flying. I do that now to like brainstorm in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I asked you guys on stream the other day if I like we have a trip coming up or something, and I will go into Microsoft Flight Simulator, take off and fly around, get a lay of the land and see kind of more broadly from a bird's eye view what the place we're going to looks like. You guys were like, nope, that's weird.
That is a little weird. He let the 3-year-old fly the plane the other day.
Oh yeah, Lockie likes to try to fly. Yeah. It's very cute.
Yeah, no, it's pretty sweet. He did some barrel rolls there.
Yeah.
Crashed in a forest.
No, Nikki has not played Red Dead Redemption 2, and I keep trying to get her to play it, but she's like, no, I don't like white men.
What? I married one.
No, she likes to play games with like female protagonists mostly, and so playing as like a rough and gruff Arthur, or it's not her favorite.
I've watched you play it, and I think it would be fun. I don't have an issue with that. I do really enjoy playing RPGs where you can choose your character a little bit more. But I mean, Geralt was fun, so I'm sure Arthur's fun. I don't know. I played live with you the night it came out, and I remember we were trying to play, and then we just kept getting roped up and wasted by other players.
Oh yeah, Red Dead Online.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Dead Online could have been cool, but it was just a disaster.
You couldn't do anything. You'd like walk down the road, roped up, wasted by another character every single time. It was like,
and then hackers would come in, and they would be like, you'd think they were being really nice, and they would spawn like nice weapons for you or a nice skin for you to sell or something. But if you add it to your inventory, those people would then report you, and then your non-hacker account would get banned because you took something from a hacker. The hacker doesn't care. He just makes a new account and hacks again. But your very legit account got banned because you took something from a guy you thought was being nice to you. And it's like that level of trolling is on another scale. It's just no bueno.
I'm really enjoying Marvel Rivals right now. That's been pretty fun. Going from Overwatch 2 to Marvel Rivals has been a pleasant change. I'm trying to think what else. Ooh. I'm trying to find my next game. I think I'm gonna play Witcher 3 again before
Red Dead. You got like 3 years before Witcher 4.
That's true. It's a while. But it's so long. So I mean, like, you can like
for you though, you grind.
I do grind.
You'll finish it in a weekend.
That's true.
Does Nikki like Indiana Jones? She's not played Indiana Jones.
My one thing while watching you play Indiana Jones is I don't like the first person perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's fine and I could get used to it, but it does, like, at first glance get really nauseating.
Well, especially on console, the FOV is really tight. Yeah, Avowed is incoming. I don't know if you're interested in Avowed.
Give it a go. Give it a go.
Yeah.
Mafia trilogy. You like Mafia.
Oh yeah, I love Mafia. They have the new one coming too. I am so here for it. You don't even know. We'll talk about that in a few.
I can get out of your hair too. I just wanted to say hello.
Yeah, hello. I love you. I'm trying to figure out what else we have to go through today. We've got a few little tidbits. Because guess what? Ubisoft launched another NFT game. We'll talk about that.
Oh my.
There's always something to talk about with them. Let me see. I guess we can catch up on these real quick. Ken Schmitz, thank you for the sub on Twitch. That's very generous. Thank you, my friend, for that. Let me see where I left off. Sohab, thank you for the 5. Off topic, but any game recommendations like God of War and Wukong? Been struggling to find anything similar to those two. Similar to God of War or Black Myth Wukong.
That isn't super dated.
God of War, Black Myth Wukong. Similar. I don't know. Play Liza P or Sekiro. Sekiro might be a little closer because it doesn't have all the ARPG stuff, but Sekiro is really good. Edgar, thank you for the 5. I hate that Intergalactic became this divisive. It looks like such an interesting game. Neckbeards will neckbeard. Indeed, but also I think the key, Edgar, is to not dismiss all of the reactions as neckbeards. Some people just honestly don't think it was a good trailer, and that's kind of where I'm at. As I'm like, I like Naughty Dog. I don't think it's a great trailer, so for me it wasn't that thrilling. I think they can win us over with better gameplay or better trailers in the future, but I hope that they take that feedback and actually show us more than just that.
Yeah, first trailer, no bueno. Maybe there's better to come.
Yeah, some games have had bad intros, and then they figure out the marketing later, so it happens. Lev is all grown up living Ellie's fantasy. Unironically, yeah, because Ellie has multiple lines of dialogue in The Last of Us saying she wants to be an astronaut, wants to go to space, and so yeah, you're not wrong. Spec Ops, thank you. 22 months. Good to see my friend. 22 months. Happy holidays and Christmas, Luke and fam. Thank you, my friend. Happy holidays to you as well and your family. Hope they're doing well. Antichristu, thank you for the 5. As far as I know, to use something from Porsche, you have to pay. Yeah, I don't think that they're doing the Porsche thing and the product placement to like make money. Some people are like, oh, they're so broke after The Last of Us Part 2, they have to do product placement. No, they're doing just fine. They're doing it.
If they paid to have that, though, that's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, well, again, it's like, it's the 80s product placement vibe. I don't think they need it, but it's part of the sort of
there was
art
somebody
style
on the team that was like, we need it.
Yeah.
We need
Or maybe
it.
Neil was like, I'll put your logo in the game if you give me a Porsche to drive. You never know. Keto Man Sky, thank you for 14 months. Do you think Neil D is listening to your favorite song at the moment? Shake it off, shake it off. Haters gonna hate. Players gonna play. Wait, are they going to play? I have no doubt that the Naughty Dog game will review well because Naughty Dog just knows what critics tend to like. But whether it meets mass market success is sort of a secondary issue because, like, it's, as Joraptor said on the podcast on Wednesday, he was like, I don't think Intergalactic outsells The Last of Us Part 2. He's like, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, the goal is probably to create the next thing.
But the key is, like, it's going to be compared in terms of sales to the previous stuff they've done. And they previously had the finale of the Uncharted franchise, which was massive with Uncharted 4, Thieves End. And I know you could say Lost Legacy, but that's a spin-off, so I'm not counting it. And then The Last of Us Part 2, which is the big sequel follow-up to what many people at the time considered one of the greatest games of all time, The Last of Us Part 1. So I don't see a world in which this new IP outperforms those. So I'm sure some people are going to be like, see, it's a failure. It didn't do as well as those games. But I think it was always going to be fighting out the battle.
We're also in the age of skeptics, though.
Shout out skeptics.
We're in the age of skeptics, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that just watch reviews and they won't even give something a chance because of the review.
Well, and more than anything, going into like the next year or two, the market's going to be so flooded with massive AAA games that if you don't think Intergalactic looks great, okay, there's probably
another $70 game.
Yeah,
to
there's going to be 15 different ones for you to choose from. Like, this is probably launching around the time of Sony Santa Monica's next game, which I'm sure they'll space them out by like 6 months to a year because it's both Sony. But there will be other big Xbox titles. Witcher 4 will probably be coming in a similar time frame. So there's just a lot of big players that are working at the same time. So people can be picky. AZ, thank you for the membership. Sohab, thank you for the 5. Happy holidays. Off topic, but any game recommendations like God of War? Did you do that one twice? I'm sorry you had to do it twice, my friend. Yeah, I mean, Lies of P or Sekiro, also great. Other like action-y games. Sifu is good.
I mean, you gotta go back in time. I'm always gonna recommend Witcher 3 now. I'm like, Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Witcher 3.
Lots of solid ones like that. Ace V, thank you for that one. Rockstar never did cryptic stuff like this. Remember Mount Chiliad? Yeah, me neither. It's just not their style. Yeah, I think people think that they do stuff like this because they hear it talked about so much. But as far as I'm aware, none of it has ever been confirmed that like, oh yeah, in that one trailer we had the moon that was a waxing gibbous moon, and therefore it's like gonna release on this date. Like, none of that's ever been confirmed. It's always just speculation. So I think they're just laughing their asses off, frankly. Judson, thank you for the 20. Very generous. People are tired of Western games and messaging they give off, and the only game be excited to be excited for are Eastern devs. That shows a lot what United States voted for president, and that people are leaning right on everything in games. Sure. I'm trying to decipher it, but sure. I think I see what you mean. Yeah. Spencer, also thank you for the 2. Has Nikki played Stellar Blade?
Nope.
We can get the demo. I'll get the demo for you upstairs.
Hot dog. Wait. What?
Okay. No, nothing. It's a good game.
Oh.
It's a good game. You'll like it. There's a lot to love in that game. So.
What does that mean?
Yeah, there's just a lot.
A lot to love. Am I gonna be like screaming upstairs?
No, there's a lot to love.
Okay.
Like
butts or like.
No, it's a game.
Butts.
No, it's a game that you'll have your hands full with, I think.
Upper butts. You're really alluding to the upper butt.
Why are you guys having this problem too? No thumbnails are loading on YouTube. That's weird.
Oh, this is very weeb.
Thumbnails aren't loading. It's known to be a game in which there are some pretty solid
Why is she running with her
outfits.
butt out like that?
Because it's Christmas.
Because it's Christmas?
Yeah. Okay, open the presents. Okay, come on. Show the outfit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
So there's a lot to love in the game. There's a lot.
Yeah.
It's also, like, no joke, just a solid game, like a good action game.
I like that she has glasses. Like, her boobies are out, but it's okay. She's really smart.
It was funny because a bunch of gaming journalists were like, this is ridiculous. This game isn't made, like, it's not a real woman. This is some fetishization or whatever of women, not realizing that this is like a body scan of an actual I think it's a model in Japan. Like it's an actual woman that they scan for it. They're like, see, these women don't exist. And it's like, well, one of them does, so whatever. But yeah, I can download the demo for you. You'll have your hands full. Yeah. Korea? Oh, it's a Korean model. Okay.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah, it's kind of Bayonetta. You're right.
It is very Bayonetta.
Okay.
Get me out of here.
I will. Well, I gotta talk about corporate buyouts. So.
Oh, yum.
Not super fun.
Yummy.
Thank you for joining us.
Sorry for bothering you.
You're fine. I love you.
Love you. Smack.
That's how I get motivated. She comes in and gives me a little smack.
Do you want to go holiday shopping, or are you gonna do this for a hot minute?
Yeah, probably in a little bit. We'll get through this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Should give her one back. I don't know what the rules are for YouTube. I figure YouTube is not the type to complain if a guy gets a booty spank, but probably will be upset if a guy gives a girl one, even if they're married. Because, you know, YouTube. But, yeah. Oh, we got a new gameplay clip of that game from Compulsion Games, the South of Midnight game. Again, like, the more I watch this game, I think it's going to be graphically, like, fantastic. Art-wise, it's going to be great. But I'm guessing it's going to get really bland in the gameplay department. It's the We Happy Few guys. You know, like, I think it's going to be a lot of form. But, like, the meaty substance it may struggle with. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is their breakout hit. Because I do love the vibes. But they're doing little bitty gameplay drops. Just teeny tiny little ones. Okay. Let's talk about this. Gamatsu. You ready? New segment. You ready? Drinner D, Luke, cringe violently lately? No. Watch Hunt Showdown 1896 Post Malone's Murder Circus exclusive trailer. Oh no, is it bad? Is it like really bad? Or is it like funny bad? Real quick,
I used to be a part of something. I founded that circus, built it up from nothing. From town to town, maybe we'd steal a little along the way, but we always put on a good show. And then the stone came into my life, and it all went to hell. A little man came up to me, offered to trade me something powerful and magic if I just let him join the circus and disappear. He called it the Helio Stone. It was an ugly thing. Carved rock in the shape of a sun with a demon's face in the center. Like a fool, I said yes. The man didn't lie. It did have power. It started reaching out and twisting things, turning people evil and beast into monsters. Then, it came for me. I fought it as long as I could, but I knew I was never gonna win. So I ran. The others who hadn't changed yet ran with me, then scattered to live out their lives someplace safe. Not me, though. I knew I wanted what was mine back. I knew that no matter where it went, I would follow. And I knew that one day, vengeance would be mine.
Huh. Okay. I like me some Posty. Don't get me wrong. I like me some Posty. I think we've got a little space when it comes to the voice acting department, improving that. But you know what? I hope the event is good. I hope the event's good. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but definitely not his post-traumatic stress. Not his main thing. Oh, I fall apart. Yeah, I wonder if he falls apart in this. I wonder if that's part of it. Maybe. Let's talk about this. Talk about falling apart. News segment. So for the past couple of months, there has been much debate, quarreling, dare I say, back and forth over what the future of Kadokawa Corporation and Sony holds, because it's been discussed many, many times over that they are interested in doing a buyout for Sony to take them over. And most notably, the guys over at Kadokawa, they said that they wanted a full buyout. They did not want Sony to just buy a little chunk. They wanted a full buyout. They didn't want to just sell From Software. That they're the parent company of From Software, to be clear. They didn't want to just sell their magazine department or whatever. They wanted to sell the whole company. Debates ensued, further went along the way, and there's been resolution.
Shawn Michaels donated $20 through Super Chat. Happy holidays to everyone, even those who pre-order games.
Thank you, my friend. 20 again. Very, very generous. Thank you so much. And yes, happy holidays to everybody. Yes, even those, I don't know about those who pre-order, but yes, happy holidays, everybody. So there has been resolution. They've come to an agreement. On January 7th, Sony is going to conduct a third-party allotment, or rather Kadokawa Corporation is going to conduct a third-party allotment where Sony will be allowed to acquire roughly 12 million new shares of the corporation for approximately $320 million US. And with this acquisition of shares, Sony will become the largest shareholder of the company and will gain a total stake, including their current stake. So total, their ownership of the company will be 10%. They have clarified Sony Group Corporation currently does not plan to acquire additional Kadokawa Corporation shares after the execution of this acquisition. So far from the buyout that we were discussing previously. Why this fell through in the original form, who knows? As I told you guys when we talked about this on stream, what had happened was Sony had talked to Kadokawa and they were discussing back and forth, and they wrote letters of intent to acquire. Basically what that is just like if you want to buy a house, or I did this in real estate when I worked selling apartment buildings. If there were a buyer that really liked, say, an apartment building on College Avenue in Fort Collins, Colorado, they look at that, they're like, it's a $10 million building based on my guesses of what the metrics are. So I'm going to write the owner of that building a letter of intent to acquire or intent to purchase. And I, as the broker, will bring that letter to that building owner and say, look, it is a serious offer. They intend to acquire it, but they need to look over your financials. They need to inspect the building, and then they'll write you the formal offer that is contractually binding like that. And upon completing that investigation, you either make the official offer or you back out or alter your offer, etc. But it's a way to formally say, I want to buy your shiz, okay? What happened here is that they entered into that second phase where they were reviewing company financials, where they were debating what things looked like on the inside. And after that analysis, Sony decided, apparently to their mutual agreement, that they were only going to take 10% of the company. It could be that other portions of the business are not as profitable. Sony didn't think it was worth the original purchase price or the price that Kadokawa wanted for them. Who knows? Maybe as part of this, they acquired 10% of the company, but they also acquired exclusive marketing rights for future From Software titles. That could be a big part of it. This is something that Sony's done during the PS5 era, which has actually proven quite successful, which is that they don't buy out the exclusive contract for a game. They will buy the exclusive marketing rights, which means in all of those trailers, they have the PlayStation logo pop up, or they have the console pop up at the end of the trailer. And it sort of passively makes you think the game is exclusive, even though it isn't. A great example of this was how they handled the marketing for Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy trailer, maybe launch trailer. I don't know if that one did it too. Whoops. Where they had all of these trailers, the reveal trailer, for example, where they show off the game. And then at the very end, watch what happens. Live the Unwritten 2021. And then the PlayStation logos. And it ended up being kind of brilliant because people thought this was exclusive. They didn't realize it was also coming to PS or to Xbox, but it was. They just like conveniently don't mention that because they have the exclusive marketing rights. And so it looks like they probably have some deal as part of this 10% acquisition to probably do something like that. So for whatever From Software's next game is, the trailer will happen and it's only advertised at PlayStation showcases, and they put the PS5 logo next to it. It's all PS5 Pro enhanced and things like that, which is fine. I mean, I think that's whatever. But it's far from the total buyout that was initially being discussed, which would have been probably over $3.5 billion US. And so something happened behind the scenes where Sony was not excited enough to just buy them out fully. Even though they sort of have, as far as I can tell, they have the money based on the financials I've read from Sony. They also had a big deal with an Indian company. What's it called? What was that called? Z? Maybe? Yeah, Z Entertainment. It was a $10 billion US dollar merger where this Indian company was going to merge with Sony India. And Sony pulled out of the deal because they didn't like it back in January. Something happened. And now after this news of the Kadokawa thing not being a full buyout, Z Entertainment is reaching back out to Sony to try and revive it because they are like, oh, you still have all that money. You still have a lot of money that you had set aside for a merger, acquisition, whatever. You didn't spend it on Kadokawa. So maybe we do this deal anyways. And so we'll see if that actually happens. But I do find it interesting that something happened in the last couple of weeks where Sony had a change of heart and didn't think they wanted to buy them out fully. But because we live in a weird and ill-informed industry, I guess, there are people that don't understand what words mean. And so you've seen people on X, your typical like Sony pony type accounts, who are now claiming that Elden Ring is a Sony first party studios game. Let the tears flow. Sony believes in exclusives. Hashtag PlayStation. How do I explain this? If we have, let's put it in terms that are easy to maybe understand for somebody on this level. Okay. If we have a pizza, and you have a tenth of the pizza, you have a slice. Did you eat the whole pizza? No? Okay. If you buy 10% of a company, do you own the company? Yes? No. Back to the pizza example. If we have one slice, do we have the whole pizza? No. Okay. If you own a sliver of something, it does not mean you own it. And the definition of Sony first party studio is that Sony owns the studio. I could even make an exception if they own the majority. If they own 51% of a studio, maybe then you call it a first party studio. I could forgive you for that. But 10%, is that the standard? So by that standard, if it's like, if you own any portion of a company, of a developer, you therefore can call it a first party game. So if I go out right now and I buy a single share of Take-Two Interactive stock, I own a sliver of the pie of the pizza. Does that mean that Rockstar is now owned by me? That GTA 6 is a Luke Stevens video game? Like, no, that doesn't make any sense at all. But you know, it's people that I don't think understand words. You see some of these. I can't tell if he's trolling. I don't think he is. If a game is on PC, it's not exclusive. FPC. Boom, roasted. Got him. Okay. Whatever. I'm slowly losing faith in humanity as we talk about this stuff, but it's not I think the result a lot of people expected, because they previously said they wanted to acquire the company. They had an intent to acquire the full company and acquire all of Kadokawa Corporation, including From Software. But something happened where they chose not to go that route and instead are just getting a little bitty sliver. I don't think they care that much about the cash flow generated from them. So I'm guessing most of this deal includes secondary bonuses and perks, like the ability to have exclusive marketing rights for From Software games, like the ability to maybe distribute some of the other like TV, anime type of things that Kadokawa Corporation owns and put those up on Crunchyroll, things like that. So I think that that's the key point. I think that that's mostly what this deal was for. And it is still probably a good business move for Sony, but it's not the move I think PlayStation fanboys were hoping for, where all of a sudden Elden Ring 2 is exclusive to PS5. Like, that's not what's going to happen here. This is good for fending off Tencent. The thing is, Kadokawa Corporation wanted to sell the entire company. They wanted to be bought out. So they weren't trying to fend anybody off. They didn't like the idea of Tencent as a Chinese company buying them out as a Japanese company, and maybe that's all it really is. But having a 10% shareholder, I don't think really would make the difference, because like it's a lot of institutional owners, and institutional owners don't tend to be that, in some cases they are, but they don't tend to be that opposed to buyouts, because they're just looking for a good exit in terms of their final position. So if they exit having made 30%, they're happy. You know, whether it's a Chinese company or Japanese company, they're happy. If it's more individual investors like the Guillemot family with Ubisoft that owns that, they have a vested interest. They want to keep their jobs. They want to keep control of the company. So they're not going to go off and do it. You know, for them, it's not just about the money. They want to maintain control. Let's see. Blake, thank you for the 10. I facepalmed hard when I saw reverse grip for swords and AC shadows. I know it sounds dumb, but it just drives me nuts when I see it. Got any nitpicks of your own that bug you, but might not bug others? Constant fade to blacks. That's one I've talked about a lot before. Drives me crazy. And then also the other thing is games whose main story you have to ignore in order to have fun with. The age-old example is like Fallout 4. Your child is stolen. Your spouse is murdered in front of you. You break out of the cryogenic whatever freeze pod, and then you go and play housekeeper cleaning up your old neighborhood for like 3 hours, and you build like a little fort, and then you place some beds, then you talk to your robot manservant, and it's just so tonally weird. Like, in order to have fun with Fallout 4, you have to kind of ignore the main story, and I don't like that stuff. I know some people can just turn their brain off to it, but even in Cyberpunk does the same thing, where like, you're dying, everything's super serious. If you want to live, you got to find a solution to your illness right now before it's too late. And like, you start having these kind of like strokes and seizures, and the whatever corruption is affecting you, and it's really, really bad. But if you want to have fun, you got to go do side content. So you just kind of ignore that. You'll hit the point of no return in the main story, and you just got to ignore it while you go and do other stuff that's more fun. Like, I just kind of drives me a little crazy. You should have a fade to black thing for your stream and randomly do it every once in a while. That actually would be kind of funny. Maybe I should figure out if I can do that. We have different scene transitions. Hold on. Fade. I don't think it's a fade to black though. Oh, wait. I feel my soul leaving. Oh no. I'm losing control. Bye. No. Yeah, that works. That could work. I like that. The console exclusive equals value mindset is out of date, shallow, and inaccurate. Xbox shifting its marketing really does nothing except increase accessibility, and that's a great thing for consumers. Yeah, I think I generally agree with that. I really think it is this like 2007 way of thinking, where it's my team has these games, your team has those games, and my team's games are better than your team's games. Therefore, I win. Like, it's this tribalistic way of thinking that I get can be fun. Like, it's the same thing that happens with it's the same thing that happens with frickin' sports in general. Like, my team is better than your team, rah rah, shut up. Like, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. It drives me crazy. My pet peeve is it can't run anything today without DLSS. Yeah, that's also true. That's a big problem. Okay, let's talk about this. Wrong button. News segment! Also, I should catch up on this. Do you think Kenshin 2 will be released in 2025 and win Best Indie at the next Game of the Year awards? Yes, no. I think that's where I'm at. Kadokawa Corp sounds like a shell company you would beat the thugs of in a Yakuza game. Yeah, kind of. It does kind of sound like that. You're right. Let's see. And I caught up on there. Okay. News segment. Elder Scrolls Oblivion looks like it could be getting the remake treatment as soon as next month. Revealing next month, that is. The long-anticipated remake of Oblivion could be revealed next month. According to leaker Xtasis, maybe. Not only is the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remake real, but Xbox could announce the game at an Xbox Direct event in January. I've also heard rumblings that there's going to be something in January for Xbox. Not a crazy thing to hear. It makes sense. They've done it before, and they have a lot of stuff to talk about, so I think it's reasonable. The people I heard it from... Excuse me, my goodness. The people I heard it from that this would be happening in January are sort of tangentially related. They're not directly within Xbox, so I'm taking it more with a grain of salt. But the fact that other leakers and other sources are reporting that something could happen in January makes me feel much more confident that it's actually going to happen. I would guess maybe like mid to late January is when I would expect to see it, but time will tell. Not only could it be announced next month, but the game could be releasing sometime in 2025. Per previous rumors, the remake is being developed by Virtuos and is being built in Unreal Engine 5. Those rumors also hinted at a 2025 release date for the game. What would be crazy though is like, again, this is the really awkward bit. If this remake ends up being really good, like you could get into a position where like the remake of Oblivion actually looks and runs better than anything Bethesda's put out in the last decade, which would be really, really funny. Game development. You can see they've worked on a lot of stuff. Co-development, advanced development mode with both efficiency and high quality, comprehensive coverage of all development requirements, bringing additional value and flavor to the game. Outer Worlds, Marvel's Avengers, Call of Duty, Grounded, Destroy All Humans, Fallen Order. Like, these are one of those contract teams that you hire to help you, but they don't really do their own big thing. They're just one of these like contractors you can hire. And I mean, they've worked on a lot of different stuff. Horizon Zero Dawn, bringing it to PC. So they've done other ports and stuff. A full remake is not an easy thing to do, but it seems like they've at least worked on a ton of different stuff. So we'll see if that ends up being true. But now there's multiple different sources that are reporting this is going to happen, which is interesting because typically they don't just tend to make it up out of whole cloth. If you recall, the first word of a remake or remaster of the game came during the FTC's investigation into Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. At the time, the documents revealed the game was expected to launch during fiscal year 2022, but that obviously never came to be. Since then, nothing has been said publicly by Microsoft or Bethesda on its status. As with every rumor, please take information with a grain of salt, blah, blah, blah. That at least suggests that it was relatively far along years ago, and if it's still being worked on, then the hope is it's just continued to get polished and refined as time has gone by. But we will see if it like how it actually turns out. I would be interested. I do think Oblivion is one of those games that has struggled to maintain like interest in the modern day. It just hasn't aged the best. That's the like a big part of it. So a remake could be really, really good for it. But what I'd be interested in is like a lot of the big selling points of that game back in the day. And you can watch the making of Oblivion documentary thing that they did because they filmed the reactions at E3 at the time that are really interesting. And back at the time, like the AI, the Radiant AI was one of the big selling points. And then also like the graphical fidelity with forests and stuff like that was a big selling point. So I'm interested in this if they can actually provide something that is graphically really stunning and it retains that gameplay and stuff that people loved about Oblivion back in the day. But there's so many cascading things you got to consider because combat in Elder Scrolls games has historically not been very good at all. The AI was a big selling point. It ended up being kind of the Kickstarter of Todd's Sweet Little Lies debacle that's carried on for decades at this point because he made all these promises about hyper-intelligent AI and NPCs that understand what's going on in the world around them and all that. And it ended up mostly just being marketing garbage. But maybe this is where we're actually going to see it implemented really well. Who knows? Michael, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Never trust Bethesda. That's the thing, though, is this isn't Bethesda. Like, this is apparently this Virtuos team who is mainly a support studio, but that, I mean, maybe they do a really good job with it. My feeling, though, is that this is not going to be a Demon's Souls remake. I don't think this is going to be like a reinvention that blows everybody away. I hope it is. But based on what we've seen from other remakes, remasters, relaunches and stuff from ZeniMax, typically it is much lower effort than that, and it's more of a glow up than it is a reworking entirely. But again, I would love for that to not be the case. I would love for them to kind of rework a lot of the stuff that hasn't aged well. But if it is actually in Unreal Engine 5, I think they would have to rebuild pretty much everything. Like it would be one thing if they were saying that it was being built in the Creation Engine 2 and it's just gonna be like reworked but with Starfield's graphics, and like, okay, you know, that should be easy enough to pull off. But it sounds like they're just rebuilding it from the ground up, which would be very interesting. Virtuos is working on Cyberpunk now. They know their shit, really. I mean, they've worked on a lot of big AAA stuff. So they've been entrusted with many, many things. They worked on movies as well. Yeah, they do assets and stuff for movies. Dude, what a crazy company. They just do a little bit of everything. Key assets. They did stuff for Mandalorian. What a crazy company, dude. Characters, vehicles, and props. Wow. So, I mean, they are extremely versatile in what they do, but it's pretty crazy. Huh. Huh. Hammer, thank you for the 10. Very generous. Why aren't there lawsuits for games like Kill the Justice League or only quadruple A or the only quadruple A game, Skull and Bones, for years of lies and misleading advertisement? I need justice for buying those two games. Because they have disclosures. They have the little text on screen that says work in progress, in development, blah, blah, blah. And it's my understanding that there is case law that establishes that so long as you disclose something is in the works and is in active development, people, like courts in general, view it as like, you should know that this could change. So it's unreasonable to see a trailer 5 years before a game launches and then make a purchasing decision based on what was said 5 years ago. Whether that's actually fair or not is an additional question, but I think that that's a big part of it that you got to remember is the courts tend to assume that the consumer is relatively well informed, whether they are or not, but that tends to be the approach. It's not a crime to make bad games either. Yeah, I mean, that's the other part of it too. If it's like broken, then you can see lawsuits like with Cyberpunk, where with the difference with Cyberpunk was that there was clear evidence that they knew how bad it was. They knew it was unplayable, and they intentionally hid that from the public through like pretty shady means. With like, they knew the PS4 version of the game was a disaster, and they just so happened to not send review codes out for that, and they didn't let people use their own gameplay footage in their reviews. They had to use B-roll for the review and stuff like that. They knew how bad that was, and they were trying to cover it up. And that's why you saw lawsuits with that. With Skull and Bones, like, they were actually pretty transparent with that. They did preview events. They did like they did things where you could play the game early. They did betas and demos, and so they were very transparent with that. And that's part of the reason it was such a story, is because everybody was like, how does this even exist? It's so bad based on what we're seeing already. Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you we can't get fooled again. Now I need to see that. Hold on. George Bush, fool me once.
Saying, there's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Fool me once, shame on you, me. The point, we can't get fooled again. Good old W. Yeah, good old W. W. Bush. Oh, man. Yeah, YouTube's having problems. Like, thumbnails aren't loading for me, like, half the time. It's weird. I don't know what YouTube's problem is right now. Okay. Let's go. Where was I? Close that. Close that. We talked about that already. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Yeah, let's talk about this. I think we got time for this. Okay. So, news segment. I also have a sneeze coming. Oh, no. Oh. It's going to hit me out of nowhere. Okay. New segment. Ubisoft just released another game. Another game. Are you ready to find out what it is? What do you think it is? What do you think they would drop right before Christmas? What do you think? What's a good Christmassy game? Maybe something that's like a goodie but an oldie. Maybe like an old school game from an old school IP. What about Rayman? What if they did something Rayman related? That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Well, they do have something like that called Captain Laserhawk, the game. And as you can see in this archived article from Polygon, it is an NFT game and requires you to buy an NFT to play it. It's a top-down multiplayer shooter for PC. It is a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off of Far Cry 3. It even guest stars Ubisoft's mascot Rayman. The likely reason Ubisoft has been so mum is because it's a Web 3.0 game, meaning CLTGAME uses crypto and blockchain and those buzz technologies about digital ownership from 3 years ago that are now not really that cool. This isn't Ubisoft's first time with the blockchain. Of course, they just put one out like a few weeks ago, which we tried to play on stream. Back in 2021, when blockchain gaming was a magnet for millions of dollars of investment into the games industry, Ubisoft was calling their tech an evolution of real-life possibilities in digital spaces, whatever that means. Digital ownership would be transformative, they said. Couldn't people already buy things in games? Not the really real way the blockchain would enable it, they and other proponents said. Fans panned Ubisoft's early crypto gaming foray in late 2021. The company started offering Web3 guns and armor in its open-world shooter Ghost Recon Breakpoint so players could sell those items to other players via the blockchain, which they barely did. No big deal, though. Ubisoft was merely in research mode for Web3, company CEO Yves Guillemot would say in September of 22. It was easy to scoff, but it wasn't absurd to give them some benefit of the doubt. The open-minded optimist who was familiar with Ubisoft's past had reason to expect Ubisoft could make something better, maybe even figure this Web3 thing out. In the past, when Ubisoft went into research mode involving odd new tech, they produced some quality games. Ubisoft's early zeal for the weird Wii U back in the day resulted in a, no snark, smartly designed game about fighting zombies while managing your backpack on a second screen. They chased the trend of virtual reality gaming and generated a multiplayer game about piloting Star Trek spaceships. They hopped into the bandwagon of Toys to Life, like Skylanders, and produced a nifty sci-fi game that on Switch doubled as a terrific new Star Fox adventure. What might Ubisoft cook up for Web3 gaming with ample time to put it into research mode? Well, the answer is Captain Laserhawk. Ubisoft's Captain Laserhawk game, the crypto game, is unfortunately the most basic top-down shooter imaginable. You're a contestant in a futuristic battle arena. Most kills wins. Use WASD to move the target crosshairs with the mouse, left click to shoot, right click to rush and stun opponents. Deathmatch and team deathmatch modes are available, and there's weapon, gear, and emote lockers and a battle pass. Of course there's a battle pass. That's about it, though. It is technically an early access. This is crazy. You need an NFT to play it. For now, at least. I learned this through Ubisoft's parallel universe of Captain Laserhawk promotion, which involves a dedicated Twitter feed and some posts on the medium. On December 11th, Ubisoft began offering 10,000 Niji Warrior NFTs. I think I'm a Niji Warrior in this game. The NFT looks like a virtual ID card. Initially, you could grab one of those ID cards for free, minus Web3 transaction fees, because of course there's transaction fees. I want to see this game. I want to see this action, or this game in action. Hold on. I'm going to look up the gameplay. The games, videos, gameplay early access. No way, is this it? No way, this is what it actually looks like. Is this really it? Bro. I want you to remember that they spent millions on this NFT craze, like hundreds of millions of dollars. Ubisoft Quartz was their big push into it, which is, I mean, it's a whole other topic, but Ubisoft Quartz was their big push. As you can see, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, they had everything built around digits, is what they called them. So the idea was you buy a skin in Ghost Recon and then you can sell that skin to other players for real world money. And the reason why executives love this is because they were like, ooh, we can get paid every step of the way. When you buy the game, we get paid. When you buy a digit or an NFT for the game, you are going to buy it maybe for $10 from another player. That player makes $9. We make $1 on the transaction fee. So we just made another $1. And when that player then sells their skin to somebody else, maybe for $10 or for 20 if it went up in value, or 5 if it went down, we make money on that transaction. So it's like microtransactions upon microtransactions upon microtransactions every step of the way. It's amazing. It's great. We love this. That's why they freaking love it. The problem is, nobody likes this. And there are already games that have skins and things that you can buy and sell to each other. I mean, the most famous one is like CSGO, which has entire marketplaces for skins and, kind of gray markets and secondary markets for it. So you clearly don't need NFTs to do that. It doesn't really make sense other than relying on the buzzword of NFTs and crypto and blockchain. It doesn't really make any sense beyond that. Like just utilizing the buzzword. And when it comes to the other part of this, which is, of course, that there are interesting ways that NFTs could be implemented in gaming. And I've talked about this already, where I could see the potentially really cool way that this could be implemented, where you buy a digital game from like Steam and that license for that game is backed up through a non-fungible token. And so you'd be able to sell your copy of a digital game, your digital copy of a game, to somebody else for a reasonable price. So it's not just buying a Steam key, and selling it on G2A. It would be an actual thing where, like, if I wanted to give my copy of Batman Arkham City to my brother, I could just do that. And because it is a specific code that's backed up on this other blockchain, you could do that. That could be good for the consumer. That could be good for the user. I think that could be good just in general. The problem is companies can't monetize that every step of the way, because that would be good for the consumer and there's no immediate payoff for them. So even though there's a cool way NFTs could have been implemented into the industry, the only way we ever heard about it was with these weird, cringy, like, everybody's going to get rich because you'll buy a skin and the skin will be worth $200,000 and then everybody will become millionaires by playing games. And it's built on such a faulty premise, which is the assumption that people will buy them. This is only worth money if somebody's willing to pay that money for it. I can tell you that this box cutter is worth $100,000 or 10 million. I'm worth $10 million. This box cutter's worth 10 million, but that's not true unless somebody's willing to buy it for $10 million. Otherwise, I'm just saying stuff. It doesn't make any sense. And with all this NFT stuff, it was built on the assumption that players would come in and be willing to spend that money for it. And they just weren't. Like, yeah, you can point, well, they're willing to spend that kind of money on CSGO. Well, yeah, CSGO has like decades of a reputation and it's been built up very, very slowly over that time. Like, you can't just assert that you have a multi-million-dollar marketplace and make it work. Like, you have to earn it from players. And I feel like the NFT craze in general was a great example of what happens when like executives try to shortcut earning players like money and time and interest in this type of thing. It was just an entire thing built up on the assumption that players just like spending money on these things. And it's just dumb. The only way that they could have gotten this working is if they would subsidize it in the short term. So for example, if they had these skins for Ghost Recon and you're like, ooh, I really like that. I'm going to sell my skin. I won this in the game. I earned it in the game. I'm going to sell this through the secondary marketplace because it's an NFT and I should be able to do that. If Ubisoft were willing to spend $100 million and subsidize that, and maybe they buy it from you for 10 real world dollars, so that, oh wait, I made $10 by earning this skin in the game. That the money came from the company and they just lost that money. But that would be a way to potentially motivate people to do it. But that money would dry up real quick before people would be willing to spend money back into the system. Because if you think like a decently successful live service game maybe does what, like 85,000 players. If each and every single one of them tries to sell a skin, maybe for an average of $5 a pop or $10 a pop, and let's say they do that 3 times, which is not that many. If you're telling me this is the core reason you play the game is to make money. If they do that, let's say $21 total for each one of those people, like you are hemorrhaging millions of dollars. And that's just 85,000 concurrent players on one platform. Imagine if this really blows up and people hear that it's just an infinite money glitch. It falls apart. It doesn't work. And I think that's what they realized. Is that it doesn't work. It doesn't work. They just lose money hand over fist if they try to subsidize it. So when they don't subsidize it, then they rely on players to spend that money, but players will only spend money in games they really, really like. And maybe this is a shocker, but like games that have been built with the sole purpose of making money for a big corporation, those games don't tend to do that well because they're not being built to be the best game possible. They're being built to make as much money as possible. And that is something players just don't tend to connect with. If you make an amazing game and then monetize it, that can work. But if you have a game that's just been built from the ground up to just try and extract cash, unless you're talking about Monopoly Go or I guess WWE Champions, like that's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. Mobile games that appeal to like gambling addictions, they can get around this because they're capitalizing on addiction. But part of what makes those games so effective at extracting cash is because they're on your phone and you can take them with you anywhere. So whenever you're on the toilet, whenever you're on the bus ride to work or whatever, you can be engaging in that addictive loop, and that's how they get you. So I know some people are looking at this and they are like, oh, well, Ubisoft, once again, they just don't get it. They're trying again. They're trying it again. And to a certain extent they are. But I think more than anything, they just have a bunch of these NFT projects that they've been working on for years. And they're just trying to get them out the door. Like, okay, let's just get this. Let's just do this. If they talk about this at the earnings call, I would love to hear what they say about it. Because this past month, they've released, what, 2 NFT games, I think, at this point? All greenlit within 2020, 2021, that era. So I'd love to hear what they say about it. But I think most likely they just have a lot of this stuff in the background and they're just trying to get it out the door so they can move on. Someone bought an Among Us shaped McNugget for a lot of money. Probably one of those crypto bros. Like that guy that bought that banana that was taped to a wall at an auction house in New York. Like it was a crypto bro that bought it for like 6 million or 7 million. And then literally just like ate it. And that was it. It's pretty cringe. When in doubt, if you're like, who's buying this? It's probably crypto bros. Probably crypto bros, when in doubt. Okay. Anywho, let's see. Where else? I feel like we should settle on something a little lighter hearted, something a little silly, something. Is there a new uncensored video? Oh God. Do not type uncensored into YouTube. Oh God. Uncensored gaming. I meant gaming. No, that's worse. What's the name of the channel? Isn't it Uncensored that does the freaking, the AI voice things? Maybe I just look up honest game trailer something. If you Google uncensored, unscripted, not uncensored. Dude, why did I think it was uncensored? Unscripted. Oh man, that's... Yeah, if you search uncensored on YouTube, you will see some uncensored stuff. You sure will. Wow. Jesus. Was not ready for that. Wowza canowza. Okay. What should we see? What should we see? They got some stuff. They got some stuff. Worst of AAA. Is this good?
In a world.
Let's see it. Let's see it. We say farewell to Diablo 4 with their own live action trailer unscripted. Let's see.
In a world dominated by... Oh, it's not that kind of trailer. No one knows what it's like. Whoosh, whoosh.
Whoosh, whoosh.
To be Blizzard. To be considered the worst of AAA. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be faded, to making shitty games.
1, 2, 3.
But my games, they aren't as empty as my lobbies seem to be. IGN said we had a near perfect end game. I have live service, daily quests, kick-ass mounts.
You saying the new mount?
And that's never free.
We promise everything will be fixed by season 10.
No one bites back as hard.
Play us. Come on, play us.
On their players.
Remember how good Diablo 3 was after a year of tweaking?
No one knows what it's like to be this greedy.
What else are you gonna play? Stick around.
But I do. And I blame you.
Play us. Come on, play
Deliver
us.
us to exile.
You can do 2 trillion damage.
No one knows what it's like to be this greedy.
The next expansion will be better, we promise.
No one knows what it's like.
Dude.
So, it was a good run, boys. I mean, I'm going where I have a dodge roll.
I'm going where I have a dodge roll. Honestly, unscripted never misses. I do think it's remarkable how Blizzard has managed to go from like reliably awesome with everything they do to now it's like they just cannot figure out their crap. And they're a big studio, they're a big company, like they really have no excuse, but the like long-term support for games like Overwatch 2, which they experimented with adding the 6-player mode back in, and it's just like, I mean, I think it is greed, but more than greed, I think it's just complacency and laziness. And that's why the success of like Path of Exile 2 and Marvel Rivals, for example, just in the last few weeks, that's why that is so crucial and why you should support games like that. Competition is what keeps things good. Competition is what pushes the industry forward, because if there's only a few big players in the AAA space, there's no real incentive for them to push the boundary or be better. Like there's just nothing. They can just keep doing what they've always done, and there's never anything to keep them honest or accountable because they always have the cash flowing. And you see that with like games like Call of Duty, where they have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of developers that are working on it, and yet somehow they can't figure out how to get an anti-cheat that works decently well when other games have it and make it look easy. Like it is remarkable how you can have such massive studios with so much power and like development firepower behind them, and they just never get anywhere with it, or they make stupid mistakes like Diablo 4. Diablo 4 launches, is really well received. They proceed to screw it up for like a year straight, and then they kind of settle on it just in time for Path of Exile 2 to come in and steal all their thunder. Like, it really is remarkable. It's really incredible. Blizzard got blizzarded, maybe. PoE and Rivals take their games and are doing it better and fresh. Yeah, I mean, and I think that those games show that people do like the format. They like the genre. They just do not like the current implementation of how they've handled it through Blizzard's stuff. And part of it, I think, is because they've like dumbed it down so much that the games have lost their unique charm and flavor. And I think to a certain extent, a lot of these companies get so big, they stop being able to really look at player feedback and respond quickly and efficiently to it. So they're like, okay, we hear you. Wait a year and a half, and then we'll get you an update with it. And that's just, I think that's unreasonable. I think, especially when other studios are seemingly able to come in and do something crazy very quickly. I don't blame people for leaving. Hundreds of devs working on cosmetics alone. Yeah, and I mean, maybe that's the key point, is that you can tell where the priorities are. You can tell people don't really, like, their priority is not on making the best game possible. It's on how do we make the most money the fastest? Like, how are we going to do that? My screen went black again. I don't know why my computer's having this trouble all of a sudden. It's really weird. I don't know what the deal is. An $80 mount skin. Yeah, but that's part of it. Is like there are members of the community that will buy that stuff, and then that justifies it for the studio to keep doing it. So because there's like a very there's a portion of their fan base and of the community that's willing to be very fast and loose with their money, that justifies them to do it across the board. And it's the same thing with like Call of Duty, where you're like, what happened to Call of Duty? There's like a new finisher where you take somebody out with like a unicorn that farts on them. You think I'm joking? I'm not. It's crazy. But that's where we are with Call of Duty, because there's a lot of people that buy that stuff. And so, you know, we look at it and we're like, what happened to Call of Duty? Like, how is it degraded this much? Well, it's because that's where the priority is. And it's just, it's really unfortunate. The current state of games. Yeah, I mean, why work really, really hard if you're a big AAA company when you can just kind of ride the wave of what you currently are doing and call it good? There's just no need to try at that point. Like, it's really, really too bad. I don't know why my screen is black. Last time I was doing this is because the EDID was glitching out. But now it's just saying no signal. EDID 4K. Yeah, I don't know what the hell it's doing. Yeah, it's like totally glitching out. Man. Yeah, my screen's just black. I don't know what happened. I think my PC died. Screen not got Netflix. Yeah, dude, seriously, like I don't know what the deal is. Leo, thank you for the 5. I tell you what you can use NFTs for government to regulate skins or drops. You allot an amount per season and walk away. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you notice how like all of the potentially pro-consumer utilizations for NFTs and crypto and stuff, they just happen to ignore. And they're like, oh, that's an idea. Anyway, they ignore it real quick. Ignore it real quick. Also, Ken Schmitz, thank you for 6 months of support over on Twitch. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing that. Maybe I already called it out and I'm blanking. I don't know. I think COVID really screwed them AAA studios in the West up. It made them think they're winning even more, even if the sentiment has already shifted. Yeah, I think COVID was also just such a weird time because people were willing to spend so much money on anything gaming related because they just were at home and bored. And I think a lot of studios just got used to that and then built out stuff that we're just now feeling. Because that's the thing. Anything that happens in the gaming industry, you feel the after effects of it 3-4 years later because of the turnaround times on a lot of these projects. And I think it's why we're getting a lot of games that have the similar art style and vibe all at the same time. And it's why like a year or two ago, all of the games that we saw were like these Fortnite clones. And now we're getting a bunch of stuff that's like late stage Marvel, like Marvel Endgame era writing and design. And I think it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I don't know, man. Well, anyway, my screen is just totally black. I don't know what's happening. So I can't really do much else. So I guess I have to call it there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It's been a wonderful, wonderful Friday. I don't know. We'll have to think of something we can do Christmassy on Monday, but it's going to be a good one. Go watch the new video I just put up last night on Skull and Bones, how it is miraculously the last one standing in the live service lineup. Go check that out. Just eggnog. That's all we're going to drink. That's all we'll do on the stream is just try to chug eggnog. Yeah, that'd be funny. But have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, my friends. Shout out to the Chest Club. Yes.
Shout out to the Chest Club.
Much love, everybody. You all are fantastic. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Again, go watch the video on the main channel, okay? Much love. Subscribe to Luke Stevens Clips as well. It's rocking and rolling, okay? I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.